Hi, it's Paul Rosales here with RE/MAX and KCTU's The Home Show. As you know, we've been having an ongoing series of interviewing folks who are in the know about some of the incentive programs for the metro area for people who are wanting to move into homes. We have Wes Galyon here with the Wichita Area Builders Association. He's the president and CEO of that organization, and he's going to be the folks who's going to talk to us about Wichita. But first, you're kind of famous in a roundabout way. You have a niece that a lot of people out there might know.
I do, Nicole Galyon. A lot of people have asked me if she's my niece, and she was on The Voice recently. And she's a very talented young lady from Sterling, Kansas. She's my brother's youngest daughter, and she was asked to audition for and was picked to be on the Voice. And she actually is a classically trained pianist, but she's also a songwriter in Nashville, Tennessee, and so is her husband. So. She's an interesting young lady, really good young lady, very talented young woman, so she has a bright future, I think, in the industry.
Excellent. I used to live out around Nashville.
Did you?
Great area.
Yeah, I grew up in Tennessee myself.
I was in the Army back over there.
Yeah, neat area.
Yeah, neat.
Right.
A lot of beautiful woods out there.
Oh, just beautiful.
Stunning. Tell us a little bit about the Wichita Area Association, about the Wichita Area's building incentive program that the city of Wichita just passed.
Okay, we started having dialogue with the city, Paul, about about mid-year last year, and it got more intense since about October of last year. One of the things, as you know, being in the industry, is that the housing industry has been hit awfully hard with this recession that lasted longer and cut deeper, I think, than any of us ever thought it would.
Yeah.
And if you look at the industry as a whole, I think probably the new home construction segment of the industry has been hit unusually hard. It's been, and the problem's been exacerbated not just because of the market declines, but the intense regulation that the financial institutions are under these days, to the point that what we would normally be able to do in the new home segment of the industry to work through it and reposition our product like we used to just isn't possible. And without having that flexibility to reposition your product by building a new spec home before you have to sell all your inventory and then start over again, which builders can't do because we're essentially kind of a manufacturer, if you will. We build a product, we have it, put it on the market, we make a profit on it, we build another one and keep the revenue stream moving and keep our activity level moving. The start and stop thing just doesn't work because you lose out on exposure in the market and so on. So we went to the city and was talking to them about what was possible for them to do in working with our segment of the industry to bring about more stability in it, to kind of in essentially way take the place of the bank, although they're not a bank, but help us reposition what we're doing by essentially offering an incentive to someone who might be interested in buying a home, and particularly a new home. And so that's what they did. The program that was approved in February by the city of Wichita is a 1,000 homes program. They call it the new Home Ownership Made Easy program. It's a 1,000 homes program. And people who buy a newly constructed home or opt to build a home on a lot that a builder or developer or an individual owns in the city limits of Wichita in this program with us will be, and meet the underlying criteria, will be eligible for a 5-year 100% property tax rebate that commences the day they close on the purchase of that new home. So it's really a good deal. As you know, and you've been having programs on it, there are a variety of incentives being offered by small municipalities throughout the area. Wichita came on board a little later than some of the smaller ones did, but we're fortunate that we live in a very competitive environment. It keeps costs down, it keeps, in competition is always a good thing. So the people who buy new really have a lot of options out there, and certainly the Wichita program is no exception. In some cases in the city of Wichita, and it depends on the development and the builders and developers working together in that subdivision or new home community, they may be able to get up to 5 years of their special assessments prepaid for them.
That's pretty big.
It is. So not only would they end up getting a property tax rebate, they would end up getting a rebate of their special assessments for the 5 years they own the new home too. So it's, it's a good thing. It really is. And while there's been some criticism of the program by some, small number but fairly vocal, it doesn't really cost the taxpayer anything because they're not taking money from any other activity in the city. What they're doing is basically, through a public policy decision, trying to stimulate growth and development sooner rather than later, so that the new home segment industry can build a bridge to better economic times, which we all hope are coming, and we think they are.
And the city should be able to recover that just in the amount of jobs that are engaged with the process of building a home.
No question about it. You know, at the high, when we were running in 2004, 5, 6, so on, we're employing about 16,000 people in the construction industry in Wichita. Today, the effective unemployment rate in the construction industry is 29%. So it's really high, substantially higher than it is in a lot of other sectors. So these 1,000 homes that will be built in the city limits of Wichita will create and support combined about 2,200 jobs.
And personally, I had sold a house for a guy who was in construction back in the boom, and he couldn't find a job.
Yeah.
And I sold his house, and now he's running around the southern part of the United States, running from job to job to job. That's somebody that we've probably lost forever in this community, who would have stayed here and bought and sold and done everything else. Can't do it anymore.
It is. I think at the end of the day, what people are going to see, we look back 4 or 5 years from now, this is a really good program. It stimulated growth and development at a time to help us bridge to better times. And if you grow your tax base sooner, create jobs and everything along the way, you're a lot better off in the community.
Hey, thanks for coming down.
Thanks
we appreciate
for having
it.
us.
We're going to have him back later in the week. We're going to be talking a little more about the housing industry.